Alrighty, hey everybody, I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. How you doing, David? Now, today we are onto the P-51B, and we're not doing too badly. We've got our cockpit set up. If for those who might recall, I'm sure you might, David. So we're going to look at the next steps of assembly, which logically would be the fuselage. Now, I could be wrong on that. Let's see what the assembly instructions say, eh? Cool, who would have thought that? Anyway, so that's pretty much the nuts and bolts. Yes, it is. Now, to that end, good people, before we get started, we all know the drill, don't we? Oh, caffeine. Now, round comes the camera. Delay. Probably about there, I'd say. And right, now, I should probably move in a bit closer, shouldn't I? Do that. All right. All right. In we go. A bit further back. There we go. Let's get the decals out of the way, shall we? Assembly sheet. Make sure we have all the bits we are going to require, being das, das, das. Yeah, and if you're going to put a fuselage together, it does help to have your fuselage. Here we go, kids. Now, I think that's all that we're going to be requiring. Excuse me. While I sniffle, let's have a quick gander at a couple of details. Now, how well does the fuselage go together all of its own? Answer, pretty bloody nicely. Bit of filing all around, of course. It's always wise to take care of those little details. And we should perhaps, well, the seams are actually pretty clean. We might give them a bit of a scrape over. It was once explained to me that, excuse me a moment while I find my files. Here they are. One thing about moving, I'll get this cleaned up. As to how long it stays that way, that's a completely another matter. Now, we'll go for that one. Anywhere where there's a bit of, just there, for example, we'll give it a bit of a file down. Yeah. More. There we go. A little now. A little bit there. There we go. No, we don't. There we go. I think. Nice and smooth. Bit rough there. I should probably have done this before I put all the stuff on, but never mind. These spots are not going to be too obvious to the external eye, you'd have to think, being as they are along the seam. Yeah, still a little bit there. And there. Where the hell? Wow. Oh no. No, right there. There's a very stubborn piece of sprue right there. And it's giving me a bit of the irrits, because I just want that gone. Alright, that's better. Now just checking along here. Do the same to this piece. How are we looking there? Most of it looking pretty sound, actually. This piece is a bit nicer. Maybe I already attended to that one. Now, with that done, first we're just going to check this one more time for our, that's, yeah, it'll be a nice, oh yeah, yeah. All right. Not just. There we go. No, we're good. All right. So we get this fuselage half apparently. And one of the things we need to do now, this will go in. Now, let's make sure we get it absolutely right. Now, looking at this, we can get certainly two things in position, being that, the vent, and the dash. Once they've dried, we can get the fuselage in. Not the fuselage, the cockpit in. And then, obviously, the other side of the fuselage. Now, let's have a look at this vent, which goes that way around and goes in thusly, I believe. Oh, look at that. Or maybe not. Well, yeah, actually. A bit further back, apparently. I think I see, said the blind man. Oh, yeah. Yep, okay. I got it. What we need to do is, there we go. This is how it goes. Oh, that's cool. Wow. All right. So now I need to take that out and put the glue on it. But as a quick little aside, scope this out. Oh, you can't. How it'll come up once it's all in. You got a good clear view of a vent. And boom. So that's going to come up looking, and you can see how the cockpit interior will sit. It's all pretty straightforward in many ways, I think. Can I get that down a bit lower, perhaps? Either way, out you come. Wow, that's a bit good, isn't it? So yeah, now zoom out. Now give me a moment. I'm back, obviously. Now let's get our glue array. Yeah, I did that. As a quick little aside, something I'm looking at here is the way I've got my mats laid out. And I'm thinking when I move, I have a cunning plan. Yes, I do. I've got a few cunning plans. In fact, that'll get this desk much clearer. And indeed, necessarily will be so, because there's going to be a whole stack of things in different positions to what they are here, a lot of which will take it off the desk, as far as these little things around the edges and stuff. Now let's get back to the business. I'm looking at these mats and I'm thinking, well, why don't I just lay them out a certain way? And I shall. You. All right, that's cooperative today. So we'll go a bit into here. There. I would say. And probably our best option might be to go just down this side. It is the right side, isn't it? Yes. The paranoia kicks in. Mind you, it was a pretty nice fit across the board, I got to say. So, so much so that I almost speculated that I didn't need to put the glue in at all, but that's probably taking it a bit far. Oops, Daisy, come here. It's always when you've got the glue on, isn't it? There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, I can even see now, and I've got to share this one out. That's going to look very good. Oh, I can even see that's in the right spot. That is fantastic, kids. There's so many reasons I can tell it's in. I should stop waffling and give you a zoom in so as you can see what I'm talking about. But this is good stuff, boys and girls, and others. Now, scope this. So what we got here. And what'll happen ultimately, let me just try and adjust hands. Might need to zoom out a little. Go other way. Okay, now the reason I know that, hang on a bit further. Oh no, there we go. Right, so we've got this in. Now you'll see that there's where our dash goes. The floor will end about there, so it's a nice snug fit. The floor on this will sit thusly. And you can see that that's going to work. And it fits just a certain way. So yeah, but that's very nice work from Arma Hobby. And of course then ultimately we get a nice little, as you've already seen, there's that looks so good. And I really like that little touch there that they've given us. Just make sure that's a little nicer. That is swish. You got to give it to them there, really. Now, moving along. Oh, hey, GB, how you doing? Now, next our dash. Now that, let's just make sure we've got our correct location. Ding, 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 ding. Here we go. Right. Now, and we can even, so it looks like we put all the parts in this side. I would say that we can get the dash in and the rear wheel, in fact. And then, oh wow, we're making good progress. We could even potentially, no, we could not potentially. I'm wondering when this goes in part 16 or step 16. So it's part of the wheel wells. So they've got it drawn in there already. So obviously it goes in during the wing assembly. Okay. Here we go. Once that's attached, there's probably a few ways we can do this because that's come off. Interesting. Okay, I'll show you what I'm looking at something that's quite irrelevant to the cockpit here at the moment, guys. I will show you what I'm looking at in due course, because once we've got the dash in and this rear wheel in, we may as well as we're going to have to let that dry for a bit, ultimately. Now, at that point, I'll show you what I was umming and ahhing at on the assembly instructions. Oh, hey, James. Yeah, look, I rate it. Arma Hobby over here in Australia. Now, I'm a little surprised you can't get them in, we don't see them much in the UK. Because I think they're Czech. I mean, what I'm getting at is they're closer to you guys than they are to us in Australia. So you would be inclined to think, excuse me, let's get this dash off. I need to be a little careful. I've outsmarted myself, I have, as one does on occasion. Oh, there we go, off you come. Now, there you go. And this goes in. Oh, that's a bit sweet. Like slicker. So, sort of need to straighten it up, but yeah, okay, hang on. Not quite. What I should do. Here we go. Let's use our brain, shall we, Rob? Who would have thunk it? You get over here. Now, delay. Now that should sit. What I was going to suggest is you could, of course, go on the Arma Hobby site. Option 2. By the way, that's just going to sit there apparently pretty easily. Do I need to file anything? No. So let's get our part. Right, so I'm going to do it that way. I need to pick it up from this side. And I've slightly twisted a dash. Oh, cunt! That's okay. That's okay. That's very annoying. They're a bit crooked. Now, that's okay now. I just realised I've lost a part, which I can either find or simulate. Anyway, it might still be there. Now, no, it's still there. Use that as a guide. Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, let's fix that up. Get the rear wheel in. This is not that big an issue. It's just frustration. Frustration. Temptation. Oh, for fuck's sake. Getting the grumps on. Yeah, the other option you would have on acquiring an Arma Hobby kit, I would suggest, would be eBay. Should be able to fix you up. Yep. Just having a day, guys. Oh, come here, you. Fuck's sake. You're pissing me off. Just get into position. Now, are you there? All right. While it's still, there Right. Yeah, your eBay should be able to fix you up. If you're looking for an Arma Hobby, I would think. Now, rear wheel. We'll get that in. Now, the rear wheel is over here, I believe. Might as well get that out. I reckon I know where the rear wheel is. Give me a moment, chaps, and I shall find it. I shall. Because I know exactly where it is now that I think about it. Nah, we ouch. Now, over here I put it. I think for some reason it's either amongst the German stuff. Oh, this was something that's a bit annoying. No. Did I actually think to put it? Heaven forbid. With the P-51B stuff, I didn't think I did. Rob, what are you doing, boy? Let's have another quick gander in here, and then we'll have a gander across the desk. I didn't think I had it out. I'm about to annoy myself again, I can tell. Or here's a possibility. Actually, here's something we can consider too while we're waiting for stuff to dry. One rear wheel. And what I'm looking at there. Now, I think we have masks for these. I'm sort of inclined to give them a crack. I'm not generally a fan of using masks. I find them unnecessarily fiddly, and that I can do just as good a job barehanded. Now this part goes in there in some capacity. Now, let's see the exact position they have us operating with. Here we go. So it actually goes backwards a bit. This all makes sense. Now let's get let's get a bit closer in. And what we'll do is, pissing me off that was, I tell you. Now, that is off of our dash. I can put that back into, I could put it, no, I'm not going to just yet. It's a very tiny part. I thought it was still on. It's that tiny. There it is. At least I haven't lost it. I'm happy about that, actually. Now, getting back to our wheel. Sprue cutters. Bing. I might want to move that way a bit. There we go. Now, you come here. seeing something else that's a bit funky. Makes a bit of sense. Oh, there we go. Now, snip that off because we don't need that. I'll show you what I think is a bit funky. It's a small thing, but it's pretty well done on Arma Hobby's behalf again. Yeah. Those two little stems. Now, the reason I think they're a bit good is because, zoom in. Actually, oh, okay, here we go. Now, on the assembly sheets, you'll see they actually illustrate. Where are we? Hang on a moment. Let me get the right point where the wheel goes in. Sorry, guys, I know it's blurry. Give me a moment. Here we go. Now, you can see they've actually drawn a little point there. Now, to that end, good people, you will see that just as they have drawn, there's a little tiny point right there. You cannot get this wrong. How good is that? Now, this comes around this way. Therefore, we're going to need to get that just, oh, that is swish as a, oh, that is nice. All right, kids, we're so doing this. Okay, what's cool about that is not just that little, while I'm here, I'll give that a small file. We'll paint that once it's in situ. This little bar here sits along the bottom and gives added support. I'm zoomed you out. There's a little bar on the thing. You'll see once I've got it in position, I'll zoom you in. It's very nicely done on behalf of Arma Hobby, I must say. File. Then this. Now, a part that needs to go in there, I have overly. Now, I have. Excellent. I'll show you what goes on there in a minute. But first, let's get this wheel happening, shall we? There we go, much nicer. Glue. Oh, itchy ear, excuse me a moment. Now, I'm getting really hungry. Just as a random line of thought for you all, I'm getting really hungry. Yeah, I am. What do I want to eat? Oh, so many options. There we go. Now, we go. Now, the way around, up we come, and oh, beautiful. Less there, cotton socks. That is pretty damn good. All right, kids. I'll give you a zoom in now, and you'll be seeing why I'm going, nice one, kids. Because what I've most impressed with, there's a whole stack of shit actually, but yeah, you'll see why it just sits so, how it sits just so nicely, and this is a fine piece of work by the manufacturer. Look at that. Look at that. It just sits beautifully, magnificently. They've done well. Now, all right. Next, we shall. That's what I wanted to assess. Wings. Now, most specifically, I wanted to assess now. This goes which way round? Let's make sure we have it correct, or we're going to get very grumpy on that front, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. So this will sit here. Or is it that way around? That way up, rather. Might be that way up. Oh, look at that, almost. Even without glue. Now, the only thing I'm thinking... Yeah, it must be there. In fact, now that I look at it, now we'll get a few little rough bits here that we'll tidy up. And then the question we're going to have, because, give me a moment. This, oh, I haven't broken it. From either I thought I'd broken it. Needs to go in as well, you see. Now that means that come here, yeah, is that straight? It's not even solid, we have to re-glue, that's fine. But while we're here, it does, so that goes ultimately, just seen something rather interesting into there. Oh well, maybe not. Let's have a look at something on here, man. Does this? It does. I see. Was it that one? No, it'd have to be that one. Right. Now this, you see, I trimmed it too close and I've trimmed a part off. That's why I'm going, about this. Now, so that's going to sit that way, is it? Or the other way? That way. More ideas coming to me. Why don't I look at it from this angle? Good people. Look at that. Now we're getting places. I reckon I'm going to do this step by step in terms of get that into position. Oh, geez, look how well it sits. God damn. All right. We're going to do that one step at a time. As one unit, it's not quite going to happen because I trimmed too close, but if I get that, that is sitting so sweetly already. I'm well impressed with that. Jesus, look at that, guys. No glue. Gee, you think it fits properly? I think so. All right. Let's do that. And you know, I'm actually feeling confident enough that I reckon we can get some of these bits in a lot. What we'll have to do, I think, is do it as we go in. Because, like I said, I trimmed too far on that rear part. That'll be fine. It'll all come together. Now, as we've just seen, now let us, well, I guess it's just glue time now, isn't it? And bang, yeah, okay, let's do it. While I'm here, I believe there's some guns that need to go in, so I might as well put them on. Now, glue. Okay, actually, first mouthful of coffee, then glue. My plan had originally been to do the cockpit today. I'm getting a wee bit off track, but I'm getting some good shit done. If I get a lot of this sort of overall, now one thing I might want to consider here, give me one last moment before I put this in. Goggles. I may yet be doing some touch-ups on this. Let's have a look. Bing. You know what? I'm not unhappy with it. And if I'm not unhappy with it, be damned! I'll give you a zoom in so you can see. What I was checking out there was the, coffee's always a priority. I'll tell you right now, man, I might have shared with you already, but I'm going to share with you again. One of my single biggest concerns, and I am not kidding you, with regards to my surgery is, okay, I can get my noggin around. I can't have a coffee before surgery. It'll be early in the morning anyway, yada, yada, yada. How quickly can I get caffeine into my bloodstream once I come to? I've been eating it. That's a given. I'm halfway to thinking, should I take a thermos? I don't care if the coffee's bloody cold. I don't care. You know, these are the things. I'm actually going to ask that quite seriously. Now, whilst I think, gee, they're the lights. You don't follow them off, Rob. You'll be a bit grumpy if you do that. Now. Getting back to business. Let's get our glue running. And it's playing the game already. Yay! There we just go. Very carefully here, a few spots. There we go. Bing, ding. Hang on. Ding, wasn't it? Yeah, it has to be. There we go. Now, let me just make sure that's in. That is exactly where it needs to be. Because, of course, then it holds the... Oh, that is swish. Very nice. I'm actually pretty happy with that. All right, so now we've got give me a moment, I might just hang on a moment. There we are. We're going to hold that down for a moment just to get it in position. The fact that you can feel a distinct click is a marvelous thing too, I'll tell you. Yeah, we can get that a bit more. That's pretty good. So what we've got there is start of our wheel well. When that dries, we're going to put our middle pillar down. Then there's another bit at the other end. But there we go. Now, next on my things I want to do list. Now, I wouldn't mind letting dash dry a bit more. Now, that was what I was considering along the way, wasn't it? These little numbers. Now. Oh, that's an interesting one. Do they have it such? I thought it was just, I'll show you what I'm umming and ahhing about here. All right. Now, come here, yeah. This one looks like it's a thing where you flick it upright to be open rather than slide it back, which I'd be surprised by. It's a window sort of a setup. Wonder where that goes. Now, these are obviously the back. Well, let's have a bit of a goosey gander at our canopy option, shall we? Here we go. Okay, you got options. You can do that. Oh, that's rather clever of them, I've got to say. Apparently that did flick up. You can do that. And that's what that's for if you want to do it that way. I don't. No, I do not. What I want to do, and here's a bit of a weird thing. They want you to, now here's a question. That's the front. Case 7 goes on the in. Oh, wow. They've got a decal for the inside of the cockpit. Are you for real? They're for real, all right. They actually show how that sets out there. That's rather clever of them too. If you want to do it that way, again, I think I prefer this where you slide it back and can see the whole box and dice. So Now, the other question is which canopy goes with which, because they've got a few bits and bobs here. Now, so I would be using, obviously, these two rears. They've got a very strange front setup here. But never mind. What I mean by that, I'll show you that in a minute. It's a bit freaky. And then, now, which canopy though, guys? Which canopy? Or do we need to? Okay. Okay, they've got two of these, and the difference, it would appear, would be if you wish for it to be slid back, you go for transparent 8, being that one. If you want it closed, you would go for that one, apparently. It does leave me wondering what the hell the point of these ones is at all. But, or that one, and these open, why would you? But that's other people's business if they want to do it that way. All right, what's this transparent? What are these ones for? There's a few little bits and bobs. We'll come to that in due course. Now that we've made that identification and decision, what we'll do is a big chunk of sprue where I don't want it on this one, and on most of these. Now, the thing that I found a bit strange on this, I'll show you. Is being this part. Now that, as you can see, you've actually got a part of the fuselage there. Now that's a little unusual. It's the first time I've seen it done that way. At the end of the day, oh well, we'll just paint it. That's all you got to do, isn't it? That's not rocket science. Oh no, hang on, or will we? We've got just enough surface here, I reckon, to get this job done. Now, let us trim off all the... Geez, where'd that go to? And there. We'll give all of them a bit of a file. Oops, zoom out. And then we'll get stuck into them. Now, do I want to entertain the notion of putting the dash in yet? Rubbin. Or do I put the other? Actually, you know what? I will put that other little part back in once the dash is in and solid. Now, let's have a look. Yeah, I'm feeling okay about doing that, maybe. Now, where I want to check out. This is where it was giving me the heaps before. I was just getting the... Yeah, I think I might be guilty of overthinking this one. There we go. Yep. Oh, okay. And we probably want to pull that back a bit, maybe. And it will just Sit like so. Like so many parts off of this kit. Okay. Now, let's make sure we get our exact spot. There are. Interesting. They draw the floor in first. Is there something to that for me? Or maybe they're just, oh, that's, yeah, okay. That's step 14, showing the floor go in. Step 13 has the floor already drawn in. And there's supposed to be. Oh no. Okay, now look what I've done. Okay, what we do here. That'll be okay. Clearly I need to let that dry. Is that still stable? It is still stable. Still in its posi. We're good. Let's let that settle, shall we? I'm clearly getting a bit too keen. No, I'm not. I'm just being a little cack-handed, that's all. Let's get this shit together now. And this is still not bloody straight. There we go. That's better, I think. Or is it just... All right. Now, if that needs to go in. So I'm just checking if that's all good. Yes, it is. That way, I'll need to grab from this side. All right. Oh, hey, Jeff, how are you doing? This is a P-51B Mustang, right? I'm having a bit of the heaps with, gotcha this time, bitch, our dashboard. But mostly this kit's been an absolute dream, I gotta say. It's come together really nicely. There are very precise spots for everything, which is always a good outcome in my eyes. Oh, hey, cutie guy, I didn't see you there. So yeah, now this will sit thusly, I believe, the drill. Here's the little spot. I'm not feeling a happy little click that I felt with other stuff. There we go. There's our spots. All right. So, ding, ding. All right. This will be, like so many things, this will probably go in much more happily when there's a bit of glue attached. Who would have thought? But then I'm going to want that to dry before I get the floor in. So then we'll look at almost, yeah, I've had a bit of faff about with the dash, but all should be well shortly. Come here, you. Yes. Oh, you little slippery little sucker, I tell you. There we go. Almost. Oh, you bitch. Stop that. Trying to get it exact, as you can imagine. Because there's not much chop if it ain't. Here we are. Yeah. All right. I can even give you a view of. There we are. No, that doesn't make sense. Because you'd want that to touch that, wouldn't you? I think I'm just being overly fussy. And possibly drawing my lines of reference from the. Oh, that's not helpful. All right. So, actually, what we'll do, I'll show you. I might want to re-glue this wheel. Stable set. No, that's okay. Is because it looks kind of cool if I can get the angle right for the shot. Boom. Well, that's the filter. There's the dash. Let that dry. Yay! Got the dash in. Happy about that. Now, no, the fuselage will not be going together today. And the reason for that is because I want that to dry. And when I get the floor in, I'm going to want that to dry before I get the fuselage on. I don't know if I'm actually going to get the floor in today. Because again, I want this to dry properly before I put the. I'm going to re-glue this. It's not nearly stable enough. Before I put the other side of the fuselage on. But one thing I do want to do very shortly, just for my own edification, is to see, without the floor, how well we got all this in by. Just putting the other fuselage half on, just as a trial for size. It should still be fine. If it is, we are looking sweet. All right, now, in fact, to the end. That's a very snug fit, isn't it? Oh, might have a bit of an issue there. But, I see what the issue is, I think. In any event, it's an easy fix one. Because, oh no. I have to come for a moment because all I'm going to have to do is just push this back just. That's better. That'll fix it. That's what the issue was. This glue is still fresh, so we'll just go bam. Where's my little spot? There, bam. This is why the fuselage is not going on today. But I can tell you right now, it's going to come up very nicely. Actually, I'm glad I did that little check, because what it was that this was just a shade too far forward. Now, it's like Goldilocks. It's just right. Now, yep, alrighty. There we go. Very nice. Yep, alright. Alright, now, decisions. Do I want to get started on the surfacer? No, I don't, because that'll take a while. What we can do, and will do, and we will. This is looking, oh, that is very swish. Now, our next port of call. Let's get this the right way around. And that should just sit into there. Now, there is a little thing there for it. Ah, interesting. I see how this rolls. Bang. Huh, look at that. You can tell me that's not sexy, and I'll tell you you're wrong. All right, let's do that, shall we? Whoops, a daisy. But it's a pretty easy fit. Now, bang. This we will now do. Now, glue. Oop, zoom out for a moment. Tomorrow, I actually want to get onto the 109 and get that cockpit. Well, I could do that on the Sunday. Because the photo etch for that's pretty easy. Yeah, we'll get the fuselage together tomorrow. Oh, there's a few other little bits that need to go into it too. That's interesting. Anyway, yeah, you can probably get the fuselage together tomorrow. And bing, ding. into there. Thank you. And you may feel free to stop knocking that around. There we go. No, we don't. Now I'm going to have to see. This is why now I've made a complete. No, I haven't made a hash of it, but I had that nice and stable, and I've just been impatient. And this is why things take longer than just let's just put this together. It doesn't happen that way. If you want to get a good result, Very annoyed with myself now. Too much of a hurry. You get in there, damn you. Now I'm left with the difficult option of my own doing. That's what always shits me is when I'm doing it to myself. Do I now try to get this in? I may as well. You see, this is why you should never, ever, ever rush. Ich habe gesprochen. Now, is that incorrectly? I would say so, yes. All right. Let that dry. That was pretty much standard practice for when they were. That one's permanently that way. It never has any cover. That one's got a vent there, and that was pretty common practice when they were flying, I believe. Yeah. Now. All right. All right. Well, I'm going to let those dry. Because I've already started getting a little bit grumpy with one part. I don't like being grumpy. It does not suit my agenda. No, it does not. But, and one thing I will also do is I'll get I'll go to the hobby shop when I'm out in the boot. Because I'm not going to be too far away, actually. And I'll get some surfacer so we can start getting stuck into our canopy. Yes, I will. All right. In the meantime, I'll give you a quick walk through what we've gotten done today. And then I'm going to wind the stream up. Now, what we got done today. What Rob did. Obviously, first thing he got done was this. Hang on a sec. It's just a little thing. So we've got those two in there now. The start of our wheel well. We got most of our side bits. Now, I reckon there's probably a few more side bits coming in. The reason I say that is because there's a little gap. In fact, I can see there's definitely a side bit to go in there. But we now have our dash in place. Vent there. Vent. Gonna have a hard time. Hang on. Maybe if I do it from that hand. There. And our wheel. And we also, there was something else, I'm sure. No, that was pretty much it. Just those little bits. But they are important bits and they need to dry now. Once they're fully dried, I'm pretty sure now this will go on quite easily. Yeah, it will. I'm not going to push it too far, but it's going to come up an absolute treat. Nice. Yeah, good. Let them dry. Alrighty. Oh, yeah, that's the vents. I'm having a bit of a look, see what. Before I wind up, there is something I am curious to check out. Where is? Now, it wouldn't just be a gaping hole. This we know. They're not giving any information yet. Then they have the parts going together, but that can't be right. They're missing something here, I think. Oh no, it's done from the outside, which is a little bit curious. That's all right. All right. And it looks like, strangely, there's a combination of pieces. Okay. Here we go. There's different options for certain things. That makes sense. None of the box options uses parts A17 or then why you got A13 and 14 are only for option 2. A17 and A18 are not. So okay. Yeah, that's a bit quirky. But what I'll do is I'll locate those tomorrow as well. We'll paint the relevant parts there. Alrighty. Zoom out. We already have. Now, that is me done for today, kids. Okay, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. In actuality, I think we didn't do too badly in as much as, well, we've got a good solid start on a few things, in fact. Wheel well, the fuselage will be together tomorrow. Or at least I expect so. Because all we got to do is put the floor in, get that solid. We'll put that first up. Probably our last move would be getting the fuselage together. We shall see. All right. As I said, that's me done for today. Yes, I have, mate. But that's always good in the hood. Let's face it, it's all part and parcel. Now, first-time viewers, if you can't guess what I'm about to suggest you do, you're not paying much attention. Follow, like, or subscribe. Thanks, Bassman. Have a good day yourself, buddy. Now, my pleasure, David. Alrighty. Now, for those who are unaware of how to track me down on other platforms, I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube. Robster the Builder on Instagram, Twitch, and Discord, but I don't really do Discord anymore. And I've never understood it, Maybe it's my generational thing. I don't know. I digress. Okay. Anyway, now. Oh, and if you track me down those platforms, you know the drill. Follow, like, or subscribe. Alrighty, people. Now, tomorrow, I'll be back. And you know, I might even go for a bit of extended play. Because depending on factors X, Y, and Z on the Stang, we can possibly actually move on to the 109. Tomorrow is Anzac Day here in Australia. It's a public holiday. The only thing would be that at 6:30, yeah, probably. At 6:30, it'd be worth doing the polite minute silence because that's the done thing. Here in Australia, I'm sure you can understand it's like Veterans Day and other stuff like that. It's a big day, of course, when long and the short of it, a lot of people died, and we commemorate that fact as a tribute to our national servicemen. Fun fact on that front, the Anzac attack on Gallipoli, which is, to my understanding, one of the things that pretty much made the whole Anzac legend was organised by one Winston Churchill and came to be known as Churchill's Folly. Anyway, we digress. All right, at the end of the day, I'll be back tomorrow. Now, maybe half an hour later than what I started today, just because. And I'll be around for a while tomorrow, and that'll all be good. And now all that's left for me to say is that I'll be back tomorrow at a similar kit time and on the same kit channel. And I'll catch you good people then. See yous.